Good morning, seekers. Medicine here, and I'd just like to say thank you for joining us in Circle today. I'd also like to thank our guides for joining us as well and interconnecting us in the metaverse. Today, we talk about celebrate differences. The word is celebrate differences. And I may or may not put this on, upload an image so that you can get a more clearer, more vibrant picture of this. But it's absolutely beautiful. You have one spirit on a pegacorn, a unicorn Pegasus, flying, and then you have another one, a mermaid. It looks like on a dolphin. And then you have some sacred geometry going on there. And you have flying fish, and you have birds, you have the land, and you have the ocean. Celebrate differences is really what the metaverse is all about. Celebrating our differences. We come from so many diverse cultures, traditions. We grew up in different neighborhoods. We grew up in different cities, states, countries, nations altogether, continents. Some of us believe we have past lives on other worlds as different life forms. Some of us believe we have past lives here on earth as a woman, a man, a child, an animal, a dog, a bird, a plane, a plant, a leaf, as thunder, maybe. There's so many differences that we have within ourselves that are for our own individual truth. And it is very important to celebrate those differences, because at one point you might have been a log in the water. At one point you might have been a butterfly, migrating through the states or the continents, the world. At one point you might have been a leaf on the wind. At one point you might have had past lives as a witch or a shaman, or a priest, or maybe even as a champion, as a knight, as a horse, And in today's world, you might be a practitioner of Tantra. You might be a practitioner of shamanism. You might be a practitioner of Druidism. You might be a practitioner of Reiki. You might be a practitioner of the Kundalini and the Shakti and Shiva. You might be a practitioner of the feminine. You might be a practitioner of the sacred masculine. You might be a practitioner of both. You may be a practitioner of all of it. But it all makes you who you are. It all makes you who you are. I personally believe that at the end of the day, the different modalities that we learn through life are core values which help us find out who we truly are. Who we truly are. They are not necessarily meant to define us. Right? So I am a shamanic practitioner. But I also practice Qigong. And the Qigong and the shamanism separately are not meant to define. I'm not either or, but both. And if you are someone who is only Wiccan and only practices witchcraft, that's great. It's all great. That's kind of the point. The real point is that it's all great and it's all needed. Okay? There is a need for people to be traditional and practice tradition and be of one focus and practice that one focus just as much as there is a need for a person who practices various focuses. There's a need for them. There's a need for it all. Okay, it's all needed. And thus, why not celebrate it? It's all should be celebrated because it's all good. It's all equal. It's all one thing, baby. Okay? And how you manifest your life and how you grow within your world, that's what's needed. That is what's needed. I celebrate the way that I grow in my world. Because the way I grow in my world is magical, baby, okay? I see magic everywhere, all the time, every day. And I celebrate the way that my peers grow within their world. I celebrate the way that you grow within your world. You know, no matter what tensions and ebbs and flows come our way, no matter what ebbs and flows come from what, I thank you for being who you are. You have something to teach me, and I have something to teach you. We are both students, and we are both teachers in this world. We are both here to teach, and we are both here to learn. All I know is I know nothing at all. And because of that, there's just so much to be in awe and to celebrate. And the wonders of life are just so, it's endless, it's limitless, you know? But when I can celebrate the fact that I'm someone who travels, yet I have friends who don't like to travel, for example, who they have no, in fact, they have a fear of traveling and they have no intention to travel at all. I celebrate that because their energies are more centered and focused here in their present place and setting where they are now. And mine perhaps are more focused abroad. And I celebrate that. Those are two good things. You can have both. You can celebrate both. You know, we need both. We need people who study abroad and we need people who are focused in their attentions right here and right now. It's all good. It is all of it good. I don't want you to be like me and I don't want to be like you. And I want to celebrate the fact that I am me and I want to celebrate the fact that you are you. And we need to think about those kind of things because I'll tell you what, a lot of times I've personally seen the opposite where a person tries to take control and they try to and they impose their thoughts and opinions on other people because something didn't work for them. It means that it's not going to work for the next person because they got burnt by fire. That means that the next person is going to get burned by fire. That's not all true. Your relationship to fire is going to be different from my relationship to fire. And in that same way, your relationship to how you create something is going to be different from how I create something. And when we are lost in a way of trying to find who we are, we're actually not lost. When we're wandering in different directions, you know, picking up different skills and things along the way, we're actually not lost. You know, there is a reason why we're picking up those different skills, and even if they don't seem to last in that setting, in that place that we learned them from, really they do have a central system in which they can be used. You know, I was reading about an astrologer the other day that first started out in technology and computers, and then all of a sudden found a passion for astrology. I myself come from a background filled with animals and filled with art and music. And now I'm working to become and bring that all and integrate that all into a oneness. You know, we pick up different skills, life skills along the way, but they're all about trying to figure out who we are. Think about that for a second. If everyone, let's say that everyone was a singer. Let's say that everyone sang, okay? Let's say that everyone sang. was a singer, and that was their calling in life, to be a singer. How boring would that be for if we didn't pick up different skills and different talents along the way that brought about our own unique energy to being a singer? We have to experience it on a physical level. You know, we do need to we have to connect with spirit, but we also have to experience it on a physical level as well. And if we never experience those things that make us different on a physical level, then how will we ever come to a point where we can be able to give, where I can be able to provide you with something that might be unique and original from someone else? Where does originality come from? Originality to me, and this is entirely subjective, um, comes from comes from our own personal experiences, comes from what we personally experienced growing up. The way you grew up presented the medicine and the healing and the love and the messages that you needed to give to the universe. But you first had to experience that on a physical level. And just the same, the way that your mother grew up, the way that your father grew up, the way that your friends grew up, the way that your coworkers grew up, the way that your associates grew up, the way that the people in which you correspond with grew up was very different. And it creates tension. And it creates tension. And you know what? That tension is needed. Do you know why it's needed? Because it's there to help you find harmony. You can't have you can't have peace and harmony without some tension and imbalance. It's a ebb and flow. It's a give and take. And the only way that we learn about who we truly are is through our experiences, no matter how painful they are. So celebrate those differences. Celebrate who we are as different people. Celebrate the fact that we really did, truly, really, and I really hope that that these words are ringing through and resonating with you. What I'm about to say right now, we really, truly did need to go through our pains and traumas in our past to become the people that we needed, that the world, that the universe needed us to be, to pass along the messages and the healings that we needed to pass along. Think about that, because that eliminates, to me, it eliminates blame. It eliminates pointing the finger. Yes, these people in this environment created us to be the way that we are. But do we become a victim? But are we a victim to that? Are we a victim to it? Ask yourself, do you want to be the victim or the co-creator? You needed to be able to have those traumatic pasts to be able to create your future, your harmonic present, and your future. So give thanks for that. Give thanks for that. I'll do another video later to kind of elaborate on that idea too. But you know, thank you for being different from me. Thank you. Thank our traumas. Thank our traumatic past. Thank whoever and whatever was involved in those traumas for being who they are, for bringing that tension. We needed that tension so that we can find peace and harmony. Think about that. Reflect on that, introspect on that. You know, go out and do your own research, and think about that as you go through your day today. And a good practice is, how can you think about how you can celebrate someone's differences today? Was there someone yesterday that you felt very irritated by, that frustrated you, that you felt like how they handled things was just, I can't stand it? Well, can you think today about how you can celebrate that person's differences from you? Even if you do something small like get them a gift. Even if you do something small like give them a hug. Like, tell them what a wonderful person that they are and how valuable they are. Maybe they may not understand necessarily why, but your intentions are still there. You are intending to celebrate and love someone's differences. That's the message from the nature spirits for us today. Have a great day. I'm gonna talk to you soon.